Hi, I want to go into this question of hypnotizing and hypnosis today. It's an interesting thing, but at the same time, there are certain dangers involved. If you are interested, so this can be something interesting for you. And I just watched a YouTube video yesterday, which has quite like millions of views. And there, a person is hypnotizing the guests, and it's interesting for people to see. But at the same time, when you observe, you see, the people who are being hypnotized can also be chikenized. What I want to say about this is they basically are hypnotized in such a way that the person who hypnotized them asked them to be chickens and they actually became like chickens. So it can be seen as fun in a way, but there are some serious things and consequences here. So that's why I wanted to go into this question of hypnosis. So basically, what I think about hypnosis is real, and it can have like many things in the world, like technology. If it is used with right intentions, it can be a good tool to heal people or to free them from some subconscious limitations. But at the same time, and like any technology can be used for some bad intentions, it can also be used for some bad intentions as well. So for that, how can we differentiate the two? I'll just tell you very simply. When I look at these hypnosis videos on YouTube, I say most of them are using the same technique or the trick, let's put it this way, which is it's a kind of trauma-based mind control, right? This is a kind of small trauma. It's a kind of swift action or an abrupt thing they do all of a sudden, and then that is causing a kind of trauma in the mind because you don't know what's going on. They may hold your face or your head and they pull it back or push it back, and at that moment it's a kind of trauma, unexpected thing. There, the mind surrenders, the conscious mind surrenders because the mind doesn't understand what's going on. It's a very abrupt thing happening, and then they talk with an authoritarian voice. This is very important, right? First, they do something which shocks the mind, and there's an emptiness in the mind, and then the authority comes and says, do what I want. This is basically the trick, right? So, just if you look at it carefully, there is something really not right about this thing. Because in a way, some people, the hypnotizer who worked on these things, who studied these things, who practiced these things, somehow have certain tools to play with others, right? This is what's taking place. They are basically putting you asleep and then controlling your mind. And I see something not very right in this, right? Because first of all, I'm personally against authority of any kind. And here, when I watch these videos, I see this relationship. Like the authority tells you what to do. In a way, you are being a kind of slave, right? It may seem quite fun when you watch these things, but if you look deeply, you will see there is something not very right. As I said, not with hypnosis itself, but how it is used by some people, right? So you observe and you see as well. So for this, what I am going to recommend to you is, if you see anybody who wants to hypnotize you with such techniques and then order you what to do and these kind of stuff, I recommend just stay away and be aware of it. I sense there is something not very right in that. It's just mind control, really. And most of the people who hypnotize, they don't even see there is something not very right here. They also see it as a fun tool to play with, right? So I don't say these people are necessarily bad people. In many cases they are not, they are normal people. But what they are playing with and the way they play with may be somehow not good. So they may not be seeing that at that moment, but this is how I see it. But having said that, like I said, there's the technology to be used for good purposes and the bad purposes. You know, you can heal people with technology, and you can kill with people with technology, with the high-tech weapons of today. So hypnosis is very similar, and if it is used for good purposes, I can tell you, you will never feel any sense of authority, right? This is very important. You will never fall asleep like they make people sleep. All of a sudden, they become unconscious, right? Something happens to them, they fall down. The hypnotizer asks them to fall asleep, they fall asleep. He asks them to wake up, and they wake up. This will never take place if a somehow truly enlightened spiritual master hypnotizes somebody just to remove certain subconscious plugs and correct certain things in the subconscious mind. What he or she will do is, he talk to you, and this is not a conscious process he is doing or she is doing. Like he or she will not going to hypnotize you by will. What happens is, because of their status of understanding and enlightenment in quotes, they are being taken over by something beyond. So there is no egotistic activity. I would say that thing beyond is, you may call it love or compassion. And then that thing, love, uses that tool of hypnosis automatically in the other, but the other person never feels anything. They don't fall unconscious, or they don't get orders or anything. There is no authority. When there is love, there is no authority. It's not like somebody is telling you what to do or what not to do. Be a chicken and act like a chicken, right? These things doesn't exist in love relationship. But then this spiritual person can, or not he or she, but something, a higher thing, can do this thing of hypnosis, talk to them, see what is the problem, and correct that thing in just a couple of minutes. And the person who is being hypnotized, I would call this like a awake hypnosis, will not even understand what happened. But then in that couple of moments, some subconscious blocks, for instance, are removed, right? So this is the difference. I humbly recommend to you to be away. It may be interesting, but I sense there is a kind of serious danger there for the mind, and also how it is done. Therefore, I recommend to be away. And as I said, if there is anything to be corrected in you with such hypnosis, if you have this quality of goodness and love in your heart, most probably somebody will find you with these abilities, and they will do what is necessary without you even knowing about it, and you will never be charged for such hypnosis. So that's the thing. Because when there is love, what happens is, it's not a business, it's a kind of healing without you even realizing in most cases. That's how I see it. So yes, that's what I wanted to say today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like, please subscribe and get the future videos. Thank you, and hope to see you in the next video.